Hello. I just wanted to jump on and share some reflections about what's been arising, and I'm just it's morning time. I'm in my sleeping shirt, and I was just lying in bed, doing some reading and needing to respond to an email that I'm really anxious about because my imposter syndrome has risen to the surface. And as I'm in this imposter syndrome, and this questioning of myself, and am I good enough? Am I going to be able to say all the things that I know and I feel and I want to share? Is my mind going to go blank because I don't really know anything and just going to fail, and everybody's going to watch me fail? All these imposter syndrome things has brought up some grief, and the grief is around being single. And so there's a belief I carry, and I think a lot of us carry it from the narrative that I hear and that I'm aware of, is that there's something wrong with me if I'm single. If someone hasn't chosen me, there must be something wrong with me. And so then that plays this layer on this belief in myself. So, I hold this belief that I need to be loved, to be whatever. And that if I'm single, people are going to judge that. And I don't have it together enough to be sharing anything. There's clearly something wrong with me. And so that's triggering some fear and grief and sadness. Because then on the other hand, when I'm having some anxiety before I go to bed, or when I wake up, or I'm just thinking about it, and I could really just use a hug and just just a little reassurance, in those gentle, beautiful moments that can happen. Or when you're in a relationship, when I'm in a relationship, I feel like there's a level of support that I can take almost any leap, and there's going to be love there to catch me, or there's going to be some type of care to support me. And when you're single, for me, it feels like I'm going to take a leap, and if I fall and I fail, that it is going to hurt so bad. And it feels like when you're in a relationship, someone understands you more because they know more intricacies of who you are, as opposed to just our friends who, although they know our intricacies, sometimes the depth isn't always there, or mutual emotional capacity is different. And so maybe they don't know how to hold me in those situations. But when you're in a relationship, you've built that awareness on how to support each other. Usually that's what happens in my experience. And so I'm feeling this grief and this sadness and extra layers of fear and more self-judgment that this is even something I have to deal with. And I'm not sure who all deals with this. If women deal with it more than men because of the idea of the patriarchy and us centering men for so long, or but I think all of us have been taught to center our intimate partnerships, but women have been taught to center other as opposed to self. And so there's this person, this level of trust I get to experience when I'm in a relationship, and we're more fearlessness, and that resilience is, I guess, the perfect word. Because even if the world sees you fail, that someone still loves you. I'm not quite sure. I can't put my finger on it. But there's a lot. And I'm just really curious if anybody watching, if you're a single person and you recognize like those fears of endeavors, when you don't have that support backing you up, and then it's like, so who do we reach out to? And I reach out to my friends who are wonderful, and I try and talk to myself. I try and journal to myself, write to myself. It doesn't feel the same. I don't know, maybe one day it will. But I want to be that me that feels resilient single, or that I want to be the me that feels resilient in a relationship while I'm actually single. And I don't know how to do that. And I'm guessing the only way to do it is to step forward and take those leaps and trust myself that I got it. And I know I do. I can hold things really lightly and be like, meh, I don't know. And I have a very sensitive being. It also feels very deeply. And so I think that's like that, being a Sag, I'm like, let's do it. Let's go. And then there's my Capricorn, which wants everything to be done right and well. It's my rising. And then there's my Pisces moon that just feels so freaking deeply. And yeah, and so I share this, that if you're experiencing this, you are not alone. If you have experienced this, please share something so I know I'm not alone. Because sometimes this journey is so lonely. It can feel so lonely, even if it's not lonely, but it can sure as hell feel lonely. And when you're single, it feels extra lonely. So I'm right there with you, and I hope you're right here with me.